Okay, here we are this afternoon down at the Dawn Centre, speaking about the homeless review that's going on in Leicester at the moment. I've got with me Melissa. Hi Melissa.
Hi.
Okay, Melissa, from what you know, what are the main things that lead to someone becoming homeless, do you think?
Alcohol, if they have alcohol problems, drug addictions, mental health problems, debts, if they lose their homes, or sometimes they choose to live on the streets. But basically, if places like this, like hostels shut, and they can't get anywhere like any mental health support or any places where they can go for a shower or get a bed or a meal, then they're going to end up on the streets because they've got nowhere else to go. Yeah.
So what do you think are the main things that a review of homeless services should look at?
I think they should look at not shutting down the hostels at places like this. Look at the fact that they need help with mental health. They need medical and health care. They need places like showers where they can get cleaned. They need like places where they can wash their clothes. They need day centres. They need a bed to sleep in. And they need a hot meal. They're begging on the streets because they haven't got anything. And you know, and obviously now outside it's freezing cold. They need places where they can get warm, and they're going to end up dying for no reason at all.
And do you think the new changes to the new benefits changes will make homelessness issues worse?
Yes, I do. Because they're not going to have any money, they're not going to be able to afford food or anything of the services that they have here. They're just going to have no money, and it's just going to end up having more people on the streets and not going to be able to afford clothes or anything.
Now, I've been talking to some people and they've been saying that even though they've got homes at the moment, the changes in benefits are likely to mean that they may become homeless. Do you think that's going to be more of an issue?
Yes, because if they've got homes already, you've got things like bills, you've got things like food, you've got to pay for rent. And if they can't afford to pay that, and if the council tax on the rent, they end up in big debts to the point where they're forced out of the home, they're evicted, and they're out on the streets. And if they've got kids or whatever, they end up losing their children, and they're on the streets, and that's going to, you know, make them to the point where they're just going to give up.
And the council intend to use powers given to it by the government to move people into private, get them into more private accommodation. So you'll have lots of people sharing houses who don't know each other. Do you think that can lead to problems?
Yeah, because you don't know who you're going to be sharing with. It could be a murderer, it could be someone who's been in prison, or someone who's got a massive drug addiction, or whatever. And if you've got kids as well, you know, it's just not going to work. And you've got things like possible problems with probably, I don't know, theft, violence, especially if you come from a domestic violence situation. And if you've got mental health problems, it's just going to lead to serious problems, and then they're going to end up leaving that place and end up back on the streets.
And in your opinion, do you think there's enough hostel accommodation already across the city?
No.
Okay.
There isn't, because they've been shut. They're shutting them down. They're threatening to shut the Dawn Centre down. And I've come here myself for services, for help, and I've used this art place, and it's a wonderful place. I've been here myself. And people like the services, homeless people, and people like Levi and everyone else, they need this place. Without this, they've got no bed, they've got no food, they've got nowhere to wash their clothes, nowhere to have a shower, no place for mental health support, no health care. Where are they going to go? on the streets, and they're going to end up dying. I mean, we just found out around 40 to 41% survival rate on the streets. I mean, a friend of mine just told me she lost her best friend on the streets, and it's going to haunt, and it's going to be more people like that who are going to end up dying on the streets because there's no one out there to help them. And I think Peter Salisbury needs to realise that these are human beings. They're not just people that you can just throw on the streets and forget about them. And I think he needs to rethink what he's doing, because if he doesn't stop doing what he's doing, then we're going to be on his back until he does.
Right, and how do you think people who currently use, say, the Dawn Centre will cope without it if it's not there anymore?
They won't cope. Some of them have problems, some of them have mental health problems, and a friend of mine does. She has mental health problems. They'll have no place to get a shower. They'll have no place to put their head down.
Yeah.
They'll have no place to use some facilities. They'll have no hot meal. They'll have no clothes and no health care if they become sick. They're going to have absolutely nothing. They will suffer badly. If they lose this place, then it will finish them off.
So do you agree with the cuts in homeless placements and advice centres?
No. I think the cuts are wrong. They're cutting it in the wrong place. And I think the cuts should be in a pay packet. Should be made in the council. Not the homeless people, not the vulnerable people. And I think it's wrong. And basically it needs stopping. And I think we need to have a big shout about it, and we need to let them know that we're not going to put up with it, we're not going to be silent, we're not just going to walk away and let them do this to them. These are human beings, and it's their lives. And no, it's wrong.
Yeah. And are you concerned that these plans might have a negative effect on the whole community?
Yes, I do, because it's going to cause more problems. They're already cutting the police already. I mean, it's going to cause more crime. People will be probably stealing just to get food. And it is going to cause more problems. There'll be more people on the streets, more people begging for food. And they're going to have more problems with mental health. They're probably going to see more death rates, more suicide rates, and basically it's just going to go into decline. And all the good work that the homeless shelter, the Dawn Centre have done to help them, and the trust that they've got in them will disappear. And they'll have no one to turn to. And basically, I've been there myself where I've been in care and I've been, abused by people. And it's horrible when you've got no one to turn to. You've got nothing. You feel like you're trapped, like no one cares. And I've seen the people on the streets, and it's horrendous. And I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, and what do you think would be the key things to have in place to stop people being homeless again?
Keep the hostels open. Keep the services that they have already open. Fund more places for them to do. Make sure they have mental health services, health care. Make sure they have a bed to sleep in at night, a shower so they can wash themselves. Bring the funding back so they can come off the streets and come here to be able to wash their clothes, because I've heard that's been cut, which I'm not happy about. They need a hot meal and activities. They need stimulating activities, arts and crafts, things to do to get them excited, get them, doing something. Maybe a careers advice to give them jobs, you know, get them into a job, or maybe benefit advice to see what the to see what they're having at the minute benefit wise, see what they're claiming, and maybe have a look and make sure that they have got enough money. And I think it needs more key workers, and I think social services need to do more as well.
Melissa, thanks for your time this afternoon, and good luck for the future.
Thank you.